Hi, I'm Tony. I'm sat here with the guys from Soils. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Tim King, Wysocki.
And I'm just going to ask you a few questions. So, how did it feel when you were first signed by Clive Davis, who was responsible for art production, Pink Floyd, and Bruce Springsteen?
It was pretty cool. I mean, it's going back quite a few years, but yeah, I mean, you get to get to sit in front of an industry legend who's signed, some of our favorite bands was a pretty big honor. It was really cool. Clive is definitely like an industry legend in his own right. So to be on his label and kind of meet him and all that stuff was really cool.
So it's been 10 years since you made your second album, Scars, and this is your tour, as its anniversary. How would you say the band's progressed since then?
Oh, just having Ryan back has just been amazing, and it feels like Soil never kind of skipped a beat. And we have John on drums, and he's just amazing. And as a bass player, it's like he's the best drummer I've ever played with, and it just feels so good to have such a tight rhythm section going into this. Anything like that?
No, I agree with you 100%. That's a good lineup.
So how do you guys feel about file sharing over the internet?
It's taken, it's hurt the industry a lot. I mean, to sit here and bash it and this and that, I mean, you can't fight technology. It's just going to happen the way it's going to happen. I kind of wish all the labels would have, joined forces and kind of figured out ways to be productive with it rather than counterproductive against it. And it just got out of control. And when people do stuff like that, it makes it harder for bands like ourselves to keep going and doing things. And it makes it even harder for newer bands to make a career out of this. It's almost getting to the point where music might even just become a hobby for the people. Because it's just nobody's selling records. Record labels are folding up. I just heard that Century Media's getting rid of all their bands and going into management and stuff. And the major labels are dropping like flies. Our old label, J Records, just got absorbed. J Arista and Jive are gone. So it sucks. I mean, you can sit here and whine and cry about it. You just have to find other ways to make it lucrative. But yeah, it's definitely destroyed the yesteryears, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he couldn't have put it any more perfect, but I mean, it makes it more difficult for, I can't even imagine being a brand new band trying to come out and to sell records, because it's just, how do you sell records when everyone keeps sharing files and passing it on and on? I mean, it doesn't sound as good when you keep, recording one on top of another on top of another. It just, the quality gets worse and worse, but people don't seem to really care, I guess. And like Tim said, you can't really fight technology. It's going to happen, but something needs to be revamped about the system.
Well, it's crazy because all the records you sold over your career, who's going to be able to do that again? Maybe
my first band, we came along and came into the business at the right time, but then again, as time went on, we fell subject to things that all the other bands did too, which is kills the industry. Basically, kills the industry.
It's almost impossible to get a gold record nowadays.
Yep.
You're saying it's going to be difficult for a new band to break through now. How do you feel the reality music shows help the industry?
The what music show?
The reality, like Pop Idol, American Idol, X Factor, that sort of stuff. Does it help?
Those don't help either. I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, they're not real bands.
They're not real bands. They're manufactured pop stars, really, and they're just. I mean, I'm not saying that some of them don't have talent. They do, but then again, it's just they're kind of at the mercy of whomever takes on their project, and they're taking their talent and they're making money off of it. I mean, the person that's actually the singing and the performing isn't getting the the amount of money for, or, you know, I guess you could use money or the credit for their services.
Fair enough. When you guys come to write new songs, is there a certain dynamic you use to write it? Do you use lyrics first? Or?
Well, with this new incarnation of the band, you know, I guess, you know, we're, I wouldn't say we're starting over, but, you know, a lot of the processes will change, and we'll just kind of have to feel and see how it comes about, you know, when the time comes. Our old process always used to be, you know, we'd write all the music and then we'd send it to, you know, the singer. We'd write lyrics and we'd go back and forth until we got the song where we felt it was ready to be demoed. Then we'd go to the producer and demo it, and then we go to record the record and restructure it and redo things there. But, you know, I guess we'll see what this new dynamic, you know, produces. Really haven't gotten into that yet. So.
Who inspired you guys then as a younger band when you
Motley Crue's always been my favorite band of all time. So it's like I kind of try to emulate almost like, you know, my entire, like, you know, outlook and things like that after that, you know, me personally. I mean, the other guys, we were influenced by Metallica and Sabbath, or so.
Yeah, you're the only one that I know that has a favorite band. I don't have a favorite band. I like so many bands. I mean, growing up, I mean, Zeppelin, Van Halen, Kiss, you know, in the beginning, and then just, you know, anyone good that came along. I mean, I liked everything, a little bit of everything.
It's pretty cool. So, as a younger band starting out, what advice would you give them?
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it's really a hard thing to answer. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you know, dreams don't come cheap and they don't come easy. You know, we've all, you know, me and John have been able to live our dream and be successful at it. You know, for all these years. But like I was saying, it's tougher than ever out there. But you know what? People still have to listen to music. Music still has to be made. So, you know, screw it. We're not supposed to swear. No, go for it, man. If you got a dream, you know, you only, as far as we know, you only have one life to live. So if you don't go out and at least try, you know, you're never going to know whether you can do it or not. And if it doesn't work, well, at least you try, you know.
So before you were saying you have a favourite band in particular, do you have a favourite album of all time?
Nope.
What do you have a favourite
Shout
album?
out to Moho, Motley Crue. That was like the first real metal album I ever heard.
What do you feel the personal highlights to be in the band is?
To being in a band or this band?
Or both?
I mean, the personal highlights are, you know, always, you know, being able to share music with you know, people out there that appreciate it, and play with other great musicians, and, you know, playing in a band is kind of almost like being like a street gang, you know? Everybody's got each other back, so everybody looks out for each other, and, you know, it's fun, man. We've been lucky enough to do this for 14, 15 years, you know? So it's been, I mean, I've been playing since I've been 16, so it's really cool to still be able to do this, and still be able to come over the UK and sell every place out that we play so far, and see people that still remember who we are. You know, it's freaking cool.
Yeah, I'd say the coolest thing is just being on stage and sharing your craft with people that want to hear it and people that appreciate it, and you know, playing with my friends, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
So you've both done a fair few gigs. What would you say the most memorable gig you've ever done is?
I mean, memorable in this band, I gotta say that the first gig in London gig, yeah, that was sweet. I mean, as a musician playing download, one year we went on, I think the same night as Metallica, played to like 60,000 people, and they just were singing back all of our songs so loud, I mean, you could barely even hear, you know, the instruments. I mean, that's probably my favorite gig of all time. This London show we played was really magical. I mean, there's just an energy in the room, and between the four of us that, you know, just couldn't be matched. And we actually recorded the material for a DVD that we were going to go home at home. So. How about you? You played
Download's
Crazy
cool, and, I don't know, I mean, done a lot of awesome gigs. I mean, I don't know, you're asking me 17 years of, I mean, every night is cool to get on stage for me.
You ever
so.
played in Brazil, one of those big, huge,
No.
200,000? I always wonder what one of those would be like.
Darlington, stuff like that. I mean, that's always big. I mean, Reading and Leeds, I mean, those are big festivals. I mean, there's so many. So many.
Fair enough. We'll keep in this question as clean as we can. What's the craziest memory you've ever had of yourself?
Man.
Can't keep that clean.
Yeah, I know. There's just been so freaking many of them. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you lit some kid's shirt on fire a couple nights ago. I mean, it's something different every night. It's, you know, I mean, there's so many things, and it's crazy every night it happens.
it's like
You
you're.
guys are gonna get that door slamming like 45 times on your thing.
Yeah, I know.
I know. For shit
It's
that.
like we've thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
We've
Much better.
yeah. I mean, you have to look at it. You're in a tube. You know, the bus driving down the road. We used to call ourselves the land pirates because you're like in this pirate ship and you just go into each town, and, you know, just pillage. You know, it's just like when every night's a Friday night, and you know, you can drink every night and hang out with people, and you're at a rock show or at a concert every night, and you're the center of attention. It's like things sometimes get out of hand, you know. And it's the
You
last.
can't really go
while
into
lasts.
details, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you said you want to keep it clean. We're not gonna go into details.
Do not use us as role models
No.
for your life.
Yeah, there you go. Let's put it that way.
You're saying you tour around so much. How do you keep yourself occupied while you're, on the bus?
He sleeps.
I've been sleeping like 16 hours a day.
I don't even know how that's possible. I'm like, I need like 8 and I'm good. Not even 6, 8. I'm fine. So a lot of walking around, a lot of hanging around, a lot of doing nothing.
And you go through about 23 hours of crap to get to 1 hour.
Get to the hour of playing.
The hour of fun.
Yeah.
So if someone was to write about you, like each of you, what would you reckon they'd call the biography?
My life. Right, I don't know. Life of rock and roll, man. I don't know.
The long road.
Yeah. I don't know. I come up with 100 names.
I know, right?
So how does it feel being on tour with Ryan, your original vocalist?
The magic's back, you know. I mean, me and Adam are the last two standing guys that have been through every incarnation of this band from start to, you know, sitting here with you right now. You know, it's just when we started rehearsing and doing those songs again, we started popping off. Felt like soil again. Sounded like soil again. And you know, we've had almost 7 years apart, and just getting back. And like I said, with having Ryan and having John on drums, it's in my opinion, it's the best I've ever felt in the band, and you know, the best incarnation that I could possibly ask for. There's magic there. You know, it feels good.
Fair enough. John being in the band, was it difficult to incorporate him into all your new songs?